Okay, so I just removed these 3 nuts, which are going to now allow me to remove this whole winding from the other half of the case. Now that I have the winding out, I can do a quick resistance check on this winding. And again, I'm not going to be able to tell definitively if this is good, but I should be able to tell if like one of these windings is open or if there's a dead short. Well, it doesn't really tell me much. I'm getting about a half an ohm between each one. Well, let's compare it to the old one. Of course, we don't know if the old one's good either. Whatever. This one appears to read the same also. So again, is it also bad in the same way that this one's bad? Doubtful. Probably good. Just like I think that one's good. But that one looks like it's in a lot better shape because it's from the newer alternator, so we'll stay with this one. Alright, the next possible suspect is, well, actually, the next one in line to come off would be this device right here, which is called the diode trio. So there's actually 3 diodes inside this package, sealed. That's the way it's designed. So one end of each diode goes to one of these, and then all 3 of the other ends of those diodes are tied together and go to here. Alright, so to get it out of my way, I'm going to remove this resistor. It's interesting to note this screw didn't have any insulation on it, and it goes right through to the case. So that's almost having the effect of having this resistor go from the raw B plus voltage coming out of this pack to ground. So that should be a high resistance resistor. And that's interesting. So this has got the plastic insulating sleeve on it, which would keep, yeah, that has to have the plastic insulating sleeve on it because we don't want this to be grounded to the screw, to the case, because then 12 volts is grounded out, which would be bad. So that makes sense to me that this screw goes here with the insulator on it. This connection right here, not sure where that one goes yet. This is part of the brush assembly. I'm going to take the diode trio out. I'm going to remove this other insulated screw right here. Just not positive if I put all these back correctly. I'm going to put this back together. But again, if this insulator wasn't on here, then this would be grounded to the case, which would have the effect of somebody sticking a screwdriver through that back hole, which is the testing hole, where you push a screwdriver in and you ground this tab to the case, and that fully fields the alternator. I believe that's the term, even though this isn't a generator, and I know it's a term used in generators. I think they still use that term when they're talking about alternators. Okay, so pull the brush assembly off. There's the regulator that I suspect as being the culprit. Alright, so now we've got these things out. So I can do I've got a diode tester on this meter, so I could test this diode pack. I can't test the diodes for leakage at their rated voltage, but I can test, again, like a kind of like a short open type of test. Alright, so here's the little symbol for diode, so I know I'm in my diode check. And of course, if I short, that's a short, tells me it's a shorted diode. So what I should be able to do is I should be able to hold one wire on one end, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the other wire on each one of these, and that's going to either forward or reverse bias depending on which lead I have on there with each individual diode. So in one direction, each diode should not conduct electricity, and in the other direction, each diode should conduct, but there shouldn't be, I should not get a short reading from here to any of these. That would be indication of a failure. And I should not get an open reading in both directions on all of these. I should get a reading in one direction on each one of these. So that, all right, hopefully I didn't confuse anybody. Here it goes. Let's see if this camera will work on this other stand I have. Okay, now I got this mounted on the stand so you can see what I'm doing. I've got the meter facing you guys. I'll read it upside down. Nice guy that I am. Okay, so now I've got my meter on the diode checking setting. And of course, a dead short would look like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place one lead here. This is the common terminal to all three diodes. And I'm going to check from one to the next. And what I'm looking for here, right now, I've got the positive lead here. So I am reverse biasing the diode. So I actually want to see no reaction here at the meter. I want infinite resistance. If I see a short, like if I saw this reading when I had them here, that means that diode shorted. And that would be bad. And if I see even a small reading, that means the diode is leaky, which is also bad. Leaky is a term meaning that it allows leakage current to flow in the wrong direction. So all three of these diodes, when they're reverse bias, are not passing any current, which is good. Now at the full rated voltage they might start to leak, and that would be, you need a special tester to actually find that out. But for my purposes here, I'm satisfied with that initial reading. Now we're going to forward bias the diode. So I put my negative terminal here from the meter, and I'm going to touch here, and you'll see I get a reading, and I'm getting 0.541. Okay, that means that I am now forward biasing the diode, and it is conducting current. And that number, by the way, that 0.539 or 40 or whatever you got there, that's actually the voltage drop across the diode when the junction of the diode when it's forward biased, to get extra technical. But that's good. That's normal. That's typical for a silicon diode. Silicon diode. All right. So now I go to the next one, and you'll notice I get a slightly different reading, but still we're in good shape. And the third one also, we're good to go. So that's good news. That means that I've got nothing abnormal. And then I could do one last check. I could just check, there's no reason why it should be, but I could check and make sure there's no continuity between any of these pairs right here, because that would indicate that there was a short somewhere internally here, which is kind of weird. But, all right, so this diode trio is good. So I'm going to reuse that diode trio. Put that aside with my other stuff I'm reusing. Just for the heck of it, I'm going to grab, since I'm testing them, I'm going to grab the other diode trio. This came out of the original alternator. And I'm going to do the same test. I just hit that by accident. Alright, so good, good, good. Oh, look at that. This diode trio is bad. Getting no reading, no reading, no reading. And then when I forward bias, I'm still getting no reading. What that means is that the diodes inside this diode trio are open. So this unit's junk. So that would explain one, if not all, of the problems with alternator number one. So we could throw that in the trash now.